If you've never been to Cyprus before, you are probably unaware of the ever-growing cat overpopulation. In every town, city, backstreet and rural area, you will find colonies of feral cats. And don't get confused, these aren't cats that have strayed from their homes to live on the streets. These cats have been born onto the streets for generations, and there are thousands of them. Because of wild cat colonies being so very common, most locals see cats as vermin, the equivalent to how many UK residents view wild rats. It's not unusual for people to lay out poison to kill the cats who, when starving, will eat anything that seems tasty, including the deadly scraps left in bins and on street corners. It was only in recent years that a law was finally passed to make poisoning of wild cats illegal and to prosecute those who participated in it. However, wild cats are still purposely executed on a daily basis, whether it's through poisoning, drowning or being purposely run over. But don't go thinking everyone in Cyprus is some evil cat killer. Thankfully, there are many people dedicated to changing the way wild cats are treated. Though seeing cats in rescue shelters is not nearly as common as seeing dogs, shelters do play a big part in trying to reduce the wild cat population, and thereby making them less of a pest, in turn saving them from horrendous deaths. The cat colony we visited on this day showed an example of how shelters help. Over half displayed a small triangle cut from their ear. These are called chips and are a sign that the cat has been neutered or spayed. Once every couple of weeks, staff from local cat charities visit the colonies to take any unneutered cats to shelters in the capital, where they're operated on and return to their colony the following week. Thanks to this, the number of wild cats are reducing rapidly. Another positive sign for the cats of Cyprus is the recently introduced feeding stations in popular tourist areas. To stop cats from pestering tourists and being seen as vermin, charities and shelters are setting up areas known as feeding stations, where cats can get a regular supply of food and water, keeping them healthy and away from public areas. As the cats are wild, they don't belong anywhere but the streets. They could never adapt to domestic life, and so it would be cruel to move them to shelters where they'd have to live their entire lives, which is why it's kinder to leave them on the streets. For their kittens, it's often a different story. Being so young and growing up surrounded by the kindness of tourists, this 8-week-old kitten has no fear of humans, and so would make an ideal pet if taken from the streets at this age. If a litter is rescued at the right time, it can be much easier to find the kittens' homes, knowing that they will have no trouble adapting to the domesticated lifestyle where they will be loved, well fed, and get the much needed regular vet trips that wild cats miss out on. And that's where these little guys come in. These two gorgeous kittens are both rescued from an unexpected litter. Their mother was a wildcat living on the streets, and she turned up at a pub one day. One of the pub owners took her in as a pet, and later on she found out she was actually pregnant. So the kittens were born in the home as an unexpected litter of a stray cat. This couldn't have been a luckier situation for that family. The mother is now in a wonderful home with a couple of her kittens. We have two of them. They're now 8 weeks old, very, very healthy, and absolutely gorgeous. We've got a little boy and a little girl. This is our little girl. You've seen her before. Her name's Sushi. And a little boy kind of has a name, but not really. He's called Griffin by my mother, Nigel by some of us, Tiger by others, and Griffjaw by my little sister. So he's a little strange one, he is. They really have made terrific pets, and this is the luck of being kittens born to stray cats. You do have a much better chance of finding a home and adapting to the domesticated lifestyle. So these kittens will now spend the rest of their lives living with my mother, and they're going to have a great life. It's going to be so much better than anything they could have got from living on the streets, and they're going to be well looked after, well loved. And now they're having a fight. And just like with the dogs here, even if you don't live in Cyprus, you can still rescue one of the cats or kittens that live in the shelters here. And again, I'll leave links to the rescue centres below, so that if you want to rescue a cat or a dog from Cyprus, you can contact them and ask them about the pet passport scheme and about any of the animals you may want to rescue from their centres. Remember, even if you don't want to adopt a cat or dog, shelters can always do with your help. You can donate food, toys, or even your time and volunteer for them. I used to be a volunteer dog walker at a local shelter, and it was was the best summer I have ever had. It was so much fun and it makes you feel so good to know you're doing these things for these poor animals. I can guarantee you, you would never regret it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope it gave you a bit of insight into the cats of Cyprus, and don't forget to leave us a thumbs up, a comment, any questions you have. You can stalk us on the social networks, they're all linked below in the description, and I will see you next week. Bye bye, guys. I am a people. Hello. Who's a cutie patootie? I love you. You're my favourite, Mr. Nameless. Yes, you are.